Hey guys, Tronicle545 here. So in the last video, I asked y'all for your questions for the 400 subscriber Q&A, and y'all definitely delivered. We got like 30 plus questions or something like that, which I am beyond happy about. Thank you all so much. Nothing else to add other than if you haven't seen that last video, which was my most recent update video, definitely check it out. There's some very important updates for the channel and stuff there. And yeah, let's just get right into it. So I'm going to be starting out with the YouTube questions, then moving on to the Instagram and Discord questions, because most of the questions were from YouTube anyway. So starting us off, we have from Dice, aka 21 Raymond person. He asks, cheese. Absolutely. Next up from Optimus Wide, he actually had 4 questions. The first of which being, basic question, how did you come up with the name Terronicle, especially the 545? So, Terronicle came from combining Terraria, which is my favorite game, and Bionicle, obviously. You know, just slap them together, and you got Terronicle. That's where that came from. Pretty simple. I haven't really talked about that too much on the channel, but yeah. That's where the Terronicle part came from. The 545 actually came from back in 2018, 17. I thought you had to have a first and last name on your Google account, so I just needed to put something after Terronicle. And I just was like, you know what? A lot of Biotubers have just a bunch of numbers after their name, and I just chose 545. Not really any significance to it, not much meaning to it. I just, yeah, wanted to put something after Terronicle, and I just came up with 545. So yeah, I guess if you want to go a little bit deeper, I've always considered 5 my lucky number, so I figured like 5, 4, 5. We did it. His next question was, if you could create the next Skylanders game, what would be the main gimmick? Example, giants, swap master, traps, etc. Yeah. So I mentioned in the last Q&A back in 2020, that was, wasn't it? That I'm a fan of Skylanders, and yeah, it's still true. If I were to make the next Skylander gimmick, I've always thought, and I don't know how practical this would be, but I've always thought, like, expanding the idea of Swap Force to, like, taking apart figures like actual body parts, kind of combining like a physical version of Imaginators. I always thought that would be cool, except I'm not really sure how they would do it, or how practical it would really be, because that would be a lot of small pieces kind of strewn about, so yeah, but that was always a gimmick for Skylanders that I thought would be quite fun. His third question was, what do you like more, Biotube or Biogram? So I like both, obviously. Both are very, like, you know, they're very good mediums to express ourselves as Bionicle fans. Personally, though, I've always leaned more towards Biotube, because growing up, it was like, I grew up, like, watching Biotube and really, like, being involved in the Biotube community, more so than the Biogram community, because Instagram has really gotten popular over the past, like, few years. So, like, for me, I've always preferred Biotube, especially when you also look at, like, the style of videos. Like, the story content is a little bit easier to do on Biotube than Biogram. So I've always preferred Biotube. However, I definitely think nowadays especially, there are a lot of people who are joining the community only looking to, like, you know, build mocks and post photos of said mocks. And I think if that's, like, your main avenue in the community, then Biogram is definitely a very good tool to do so. Like, I noticed that you have less people posting, like, mock slideshows to Biotube nowadays, and instead are just posting photos of their mocks over the Biogram, which is definitely valid. But yeah, I personally have always preferred Biotube over Biogram, just because it's what I grew up with. His fourth question is, what's your motivation to keep going? Well, that's a big question. It's kind of always just been, like, I have fun making videos, you know? It's something I have fun doing. And I always am motivated to do, like, stuff on the channel that I have fun doing. So, if it's like, you know what, it's always just that factor of, like, I get to keep going and I get to keep having fun while doing it. Obviously, there are, like, aspects of the video making process that I personally don't find as fun. Like, I've never really been that into editing personally. I've leaned more towards writing and filming as my two favorite parts of the video making process. But yeah, that is kind of the thing that has always motivated me, like just the fact that I get to look forward to writing and filming the videos. So yeah, that's pretty much the main thing that keeps me motivated to keep working on videos. Rondax Studios asks, why do you refuse to turn Rondax's forearm armor plates around the freaking, you know what, Rondax? Give me a second. Rondax, I will fulfill your wishes live on video. Here you are, Rondax. There you go. I fixed him. All right, I fixed Rondax's lower arms. You happy, Rondax? I hope you are. Rondax can go. We'll keep him here. You can hang out over there. Ron X also asks, who was your biggest inspiration for YouTube? That would without a doubt be Tectonic Films. He also asks, who inspired you to make videos on YouTube? That would be Tectonic Films. He then asks, what Biotuber influenced your content the most? I have to say, that would probably be Tectonic Films. Then his final question was, if there was anyone on YouTube who has inspired your videos, who would it be? That would probably have to be Stargard Studios. From Ivax the Awesome, have you ever heard of the hit game Among Us? Let's speak that name here. From Thomas Tug Productions, who or what inspired you to make Bionicle videos? Like I said previously, Tectonic Films, but because this wasn't just a joke question, actually. Yeah, no, it was Tectonic Films. It was at the end of 2014. That was when I really started getting into like Hero Factory as a theme in general. And yeah, I watched Dr. Scorpion X, Tectonic Films, and Jang Bricks. They were kind of the three YouTubers I watched the most, and Tectonic Films was definitely the one I liked the most. He got me into doing like stop motion of Bionicle and like storytelling of Bionicle to begin with, and yeah, he's the one who inspired me in Biotube the most. Great freaking guy. Everyone go subscribe to Tech if you haven't already. Grandmaster G asks, what set do you think LEGO will make for the 90th anniversary set for Bionicle? Very interesting question. So if y'all remember at the beginning of last year, LEGO was doing that vote for the 90th anniversary set, and it was between Classic Pirates, Space, Classic Town, I believe, and Bionicle, and we're not sure which one won yet, or even what that set's gonna be, I don't believe, because we haven't heard anything on that, really. Hey guys, Future Tyrannical here. While I was editing the video, we actually got news on a promo that will be included with the 90th anniversary set. I'll put an image somewhere on screen. Shout out to 1414 Falcon Fan on Instagram, who I am getting this news from. But yeah, it's just cool that we're finally getting confirmation that the set is happening. It is coming out later this year. What it's gonna be, we'll just have to wait and see. And they never like announced which the winner, like what the winner was, but yeah, it was between those four themes. And, I will be real, I'm not 100% sure if Bionicle is gonna win, given LEGO's recent track record with, you know, denying the Ideas Project and stuff like that. But if Bionicle does win, then, I mean, yeah, honestly, I think a set like the Idea set would be the best route for them to take. Kind of like, you know, I think they could do, like, a play set that's kind of like, you know, like a play set that's of like some locations of Bionicle that would appeal not only to Bionicle fans, but also to just LEGO fans in general. Like, maybe they could also do just like a big, someone did an Ideas entry like this. I'll flash a photo up on screen if I can find it. But they did an Ideas entry that was like a big build of the Mask of Life. I think something like that, where it would have to be a build that, low battery, it would have to be a build that would appeal to not only Bionicle fans, but also just general LEGO fans. So I think just a cool-looking playset or something like that would be something that they would do, like, you know, a big brick build like Mask of Life or something like that, or like, you know, a build of like a Toa Temple or something like that. Yeah, definitely something that would appeal to both Bionicle and like regular LEGO fans. Mr. LEGO Lover 55, subscribe to him, great person. Check out Phoenix, freaking incredible series. He asks, from all your content, what's your favorite photo / still shot / frame you've taken? Very interesting question. I actually saw this one prior and I was like, dang, it's a unique one. First thing that comes to mind is in the Commands Bionicle Plague short. The ending shot of that I really, really liked, with Racker looking at the sunset. I really liked that, and I also like the shot that I got for my new intro that was Terron. I guess just I like sunset shots. Yeah, I like how both of those shots look, and yeah, I guess those are the main two that come to mind. The Terron sunset shot and the Racker sunset shot. Sunset shot? From Review ERS, who is best girl? Dak. Why isn't Slash best girl? Slash is always best girl. No, it's Dak. Who is your favorite idiot, excluding yourself from Solak's idiots? I really like Lego Dude and the idiots. I think Solak did a really good job at running. Check out The Idiots by Solak, man, if you haven't already. It's a very funny series, but yeah, I really like Lego Dude in it. I think he wrote it, Lego Dude pretty funny. If you could meet any bio person and make a collab, who would it be? I'm assuming you mean, like, meet it. I don't know if you mean meet any bio person or, like, just do a collab with in general, so I'll do those as two separate questions. If I could meet any bio person, it would just be all of my friends that I've been talking to a lot, and this summer, hopefully, I will get to meet, some of my friends from Biotube. I don't know who I could be referring to, but ooh, hopefully I'll get to meet some of y'all. And if I had to do a collab with anyone in the community, You asked me this like a few years ago. Like a lot of people that I would have liked to do collabs with, I have been talking to a lot, and I have stuff planned with them. But I mean, I think doing something with Thatch Mac would be cool. Mythical Walrus Mock, shout out to you, love you, man. He asks, looking forward to any new LEGO releases or have any sets you've wanted to buy? Ooh, yeah, I've already bought most of the winter sets that I wanted from this release wave, but I'm definitely looking forward to, I forgot about this, I'm definitely looking forward to that new Ninjago wave that the set names leaked for. I am very, very much looking forward to seeing what they're doing with that wave and what the season of the show is going to be like, because might be the last, who knows, we'll see, but yeah, very, very hyped to see what the new summer Ninjago wave is going to be like, so yeah, that's probably the upcoming LEGO sets that I'm most hyped for. He also asks, any other hobbies beside LEGO? I run cross-country and track, those are the main two things I do outside of stuff surrounding LEGO. Then I also draw. I'm pretty into drawing. I just do general like painting and sculpting occasionally, and I don't know if you count this, but I do just kind of generic like claymation, stop motion stuff from time to time, which I guess doesn't really have much to do with LEGO, but yeah, I would mainly say cross-country and just other kind of art-related things are the main things I do outside of LEGO. Definitely excited for Q&A and future of the channel. Thank you so much, man. Again, everyone go follow Mythical Walrus Mox on Instagram. He is a very chill lad. Udron Micros asks, if Terron lost his powers, could he still fight? Interesting question. Yeah, I would say if Terron didn't have his magic powers, he could probably, like, against just regular people with, like, you know, kind of minor to no combat training, he can hold his own. He knows how to throw a punch. But against other skilled, like, people of combat, yeah, he would probably get beaten pretty easily. But that'll probably change as the series goes on, as he trains more and stuff like that. Most unappreciated Bionicle character? Very interesting question. I've always liked Axon. I don't really know if he would count as underappreciated, but I like his personality, and I like, especially, I liked him in the, Ignika, the Noah Productions, like, Ignika, 1 movie. I don't know if that's not, I consider those as essentially canon, so yeah. I guess Axon. I think Axon's pretty cool. What outside of Bionicle inspires you for your mock creation? I think the main thing that inspires, because the thing with how I've been, like, building mocks lately is I've been building them based off, like, okay, I need a character, like, I need to build this mock because he's going to be a character for my story. I haven't built a mock just for the sake of building a mock in a little while. So, typically, it's based off the story, and the main thing that's been inspiring my story, lately at least, has been, I've been taking a lot of inspiration from Ninjago and My Hero Academia, because I've been watching through both of those, and yeah, both of those series have been giving me a lot of new ideas for, like, the Terron series and stuff. So, yeah, I guess you could say they're the main two things that are inspiring my mocks, even though they're mainly inspiring the story, but, you know, the mocks come from the story. So, yeah, Ninjago and My Hero. Michelle Travis, I'm sorry if I butchered your first name, he asks, why did you start the channel? I mainly started it because I was really into Bionicle, and yeah, I got inspired by people like Tectonic Films, Sardix Films, Thatch Mac. Yeah, I watched their videos, and I was like, you know what? I'm into that. I do that too. I would like to be like them, and you know what? Let's give it a try. And I made Bionicle Leg Episode 1, and it was absolutely terrible. But you know what? We all gotta start somewhere. Anthony Franco asks, which self-mock do you think is stronger than yours? Definitely yours, Anthony. Shadow would definitely beat Terron in a fight. Yeah, probably Shadow. Anthony, your self-mock would absolutely beat Terron in a fight. He is very overpowered. Stargard Studios, shout out to him. Check out his channel. He asks, well, Rondax Studios. That's because, yeah, in the announcement video, I did the whole dumb Rondax gag. He asks, what's your favorite mock you've made that's been used in your videos? I'm very happy with how, Winter... I cannot point. I'm very happy with how Winter turned out. I like Winter. I'm also into my mob of Phoenox. I don't know why, just something about my version of Phoenox I really like. Yeah, they're probably the main two, Winter and Phoenox. I like those two. There was a comment chain. Okay, this was just me and Rondax, like, arguing with one another. TJ Films, shout out to you, asks, what's your go-to thing when it comes to story making? What gets you inspired and motivated? Also, congrats on 400. Thank you so much, man. Yeah, I think when it comes to storytelling, the main thing that inspires me is, like, the media I take in, media I watch. Yeah, like, shows, movies I'm watching. Like I said, right now, Ninjago and My Hero have been big sources of inspiration for me. But yeah, I'd say mainly the shows and movies that I'm watching. Yeah, also other people's videos on Biotube that I'm watching. Okay, so next up we have Toanator. He asked like 20-something questions, maybe not 20, but yeah, he asked a lot of questions. Some of them were asked by other people, and some of them I just can't really answer. So I'm not going to answer all of them, but I am going to answer most of them. So yeah, Toanator says, Hey, Terron, it's Nader here. I want to congratulate you on earning 400 subscribers on YouTube. Thank you so much, man. I hope you enjoy this moment and make it to 1,000 one day. Thank you so much again, man. Please don't stop making content, and here are my questions for your Q&A special. Thank you so much for the kind words, Nader. So, going over the questions that I am able to answer. Hey guys, I was looking back at the footage and I actually lost me answering Nader's first 4 questions. I don't know what happened to that footage, but we'll just re-answer them here. What are my dreams? It's a very big question, but probably just to, like, contribute something creatively to this world. I just want to get, like, my own unique creative vision out there at some point. How's my series coming along? It is going pretty good. I've been writing episode 1, and I think I've got the title nailed down. There'll probably be a video announcing that sometime in these next few weeks. Favorite video I've made, Dimensional Dilemma. Least favorite video I've made, I think Bionicle Plagued episode 2 is pretty bad. So yeah, sorry I'm answering these like this. Like I said, I have no idea what happened to that footage, but yeah, cut back to the thing. Do I play any instruments? I used to do percussion in middle school. It was mainly just like a thing where I found it was just a side hobby. I was never that into doing it, but yeah, I used to play percussion. Favorite Biotuber? Yeah, like I said, I guess Tectonic Films and Sardix Films are the ones that got me into making videos to begin with. Then also check out everyone in my featured channels list. They have all been doing incredible stuff on their channels, and yeah, they're all gonna definitely go huge places in the community. So yeah, check out everyone in my featured channels list as well. They're all doing great stuff, and they're all great friends of mine. Great people, yeah! Favorite Biotubers. Do you want Bionicle G3 to happen, or are you content with the current state the Bionicle community is in? Okay, I've had this conversation with Kevlar Mox a lot. Shout out to you, Kevlar, love you. I personally haven't really, like, lately I've kind of been having a falling out in terms of, like, the Bionicle story in general. Like, I respect the Bionicle story, and I think it's, like, probably the best thing that LEGO's done, like, story-wise. But I more so just want them to bring back, like, some kind of construction theme, you know? Like, just something with CCBS. Maybe a new story, maybe Bionicle G3, who knows? But yeah, I mainly just want to see another construction theme, more so than I want to see a Bionicle G3. But they did do a Bionicle G3 of, like, system or something like that. I mean, it would be cool. It would be cool to see the Bionicle story adapted for newer fans. But yeah, I personally more so would rather just see a new construction theme over anything else. And I am also very happy with the current state the Bionicle community is in. Like, we got new people like Play Stiplings coming back, and Dr. Scorpion X, except he's been gone for a little while. Yeah, we got older people coming back and still doing good stuff. We got a ton of new up-and-comers making new videos. Yeah, I am very, very happy with the state of the community is in right now. I think we got some very, very great new people coming back or rising up in it. Biotubers you want to collab with, and Biotubers you want to meet IRL. Like I said, I guess Thatch Mac for the collab, and just pretty much all my friends for a meet with IRL. Do you think Ninjago should end? This has been a very hot topic between me and Lego Lover. So, I'm gonna go on a limb and say no. Personally, I was quite into how they were doing it, where every, like, 3 or 4 seasons we get, like, a soft reboot of the series, and then that would bring in new fans while still keeping the old continuity and stuff. I was very much into that. I honestly would not mind them just continuing to do that for the years to come. However, I also get the counter argument to that where, like, they can't really do much with Ninjago anymore because they have to keep doing that. See, I believe, I don't know where, but Tommy Andreessen has said before that they can't really, like, they've ditched potential, like, big plot revelations that were based off of, like, huge previous lore things, like Echo Zane being Mr. E, or, like, Jay's mom being involved in Prime Empire, because they didn't want to fall into the same trap that Bionicle did, where they kept building off of lore and it kept getting so complex that it was alienating for new fans, even though it was making the story and world, like, more, like, complex and rich. So while I do want Ninjago to keep going for at least a few more years, even though I think this next season, there's a good chance it might be ending with this next wave, we'll see. But yeah, while I personally wouldn't mind seeing Ninjago continue for a few more years, I do think eventually, yeah, they should give it a proper ending. Do I think do I want it to be this soon? No, but I do think that is what we're doing. But yeah, I wouldn't have minded seeing Ninjago just going on the wave. At least seeing one more kind of soft reboot and new story arc like they did most recently for Secrets of Forbidden Spinjitzu. So yeah, I personally want to see it end eventually, but I personally was into how they were doing it lately, where it was just kind of like, you know, soft reboot after soft reboot. However, again, like I said, I think this next wave might be the last. We'll unfortunately have to see. Thoughts on the Star Wars sequels? They're bad. Watch Clone Wars. Clone Wars freaking slaps. Favorite Bionicle character? Probably, I like Motoro. Motoro's fun. Personal opinion on the worst and best Bionicle film. I made an age-old video with Mania Mac about this, where I said that we were saying how best is Legend Reborn, not best is Legend Reborn, worst is Legend Reborn, best is Legends of Metro Nui. And I mean, nowadays, I still think Legend Reborn is unfortunately the worst. However, I would probably go back and say I think Mask of Light, just because of how iconic so many of the scenes are. I'd probably say Mask of Light is my personal favorite nowadays. Legends, I haven't watched them in ages, but Legends of Metro Nui might be a better movie than Mask of Light, because Mask of Light does have a lot of like silly stuff in it. But in terms of like my enjoyment, I love Mask of Light. It's so entertaining. From Meep199, who's planned to be in your series so far? Great question. Everyone up here is going to be the main cast, so we got Sweeps, Winter, Terron, Josai, Camo, Matter. In terms of Sweeps, Winter, it's so hard to like point like this. In terms of Sweeps, Winter, and Josai, obviously in the specials, Terron just already knows them, but yeah, in the series, you'll see how they meet, because it's going to be happening before the specials. So yeah, those 6 will be the main cast. There's going to be a few main cast members. How to make Terron, please, from Eric Cartman. Oh my god, the real Eric Cartman? No, it's not really a question, but yeah, no, I will be doing, soon I'm going to be doing a new version of Terron for the Terron series. So yeah, I will be doing a how-to on that version of Terron once I do that. What was your first Bionicle? From Bionic Dan. My first construction set in general was in 2013. It was Chi Kragger. First Hero Factory set was Evo XL Machine. First, like, Hero Factory figure was Brain Attack Surge. First Bionicle set was actually, was Toa Master Liwa. I know, I got into Bionicle around the time of G2. I'm not a true Bionicle fan, oh no. But yeah, that was my first Bionicle set, surprisingly enough. It was a G2 set. But my first G1 set I got in 2016, it was a Levoc. From Jammy Dodger, shout out to him. Subscribe to his channel. His series is freaking incredible. He asks, why is it that whenever it is the way that it is what it's supposed to be? 5. From Dravenus, do you use any specific building techniques when you build Bionicles? Congrats on 400. Thanks, man. I'm a big fan of taking, like, CCBS shells, or not shells, CCBS bone pieces and torsos that have the pinholes in them, and building off of that to kind of give the illusion of custom limbs while using CCBS pieces as like a base. That's kind of a building technique that I employ a lot in my mocks. Then another one that I've been doing a lot lately is taking this piece and cutting out the middle part right here and using that as a torso. It's really, really great for like shaping and stuff like that. And yeah, that's been a building technique I've been using a lot lately, as well as just cutting pieces a lot in general. I believe someone asked a question about that for later on, but yeah, I've been cutting a lot more parts lately, because yeah, I've been finding it to be very effective. But yeah, I'll save that for later, because someone asked a question about that. The second question was, who out of all the characters you've created is the most powerful? You haven't really seen it too much yet, but I'd probably say Matter. Matter's probably the most powerful. I'm just looking around at all the other characters I've made. Actually, no, I'd say Hippie's more powerful than Matter. Dr. Planet asks, I was wondering how you came up with Tyrannical. Like I said, Terrarium Bionicle. Lego Crafter 1130 asks, first, do you have any tips for building torsos? I would definitely say take advantage of things like Baki wastes and like that new, or it's not new, that Star Wars, God, I am old if I thought that part is new. Things like that, the Star Wars torso that just don't have any upper, like, anything on the upper torso. Yeah, take advantage of parts like that, and then you can kind of build off of that, because they make for great starts in terms of building custom torsos, like up and out of that. Also take advantage of the Technic ball pieces. They are lifesavers when it comes to torsos. He also asks, how much articulation you consider too much and too little? Very interesting question. I would definitely say that if the articulation isn't articulation that you plan on, okay, well, actually, this is different. It's kind of different because it really depends on what you're planning on using your mocks for. Like, I myself usually build my mocks with filming them in mind, and when it comes to that, I definitely think if you don't think that giving your mock like a certain type of articulation would help you with filming, then it could honestly just get in the way. Like my version of Josiah has shoulder articulation, but I found myself not really using it that much while I'm filming, so I've been considering just removing it, because if anything, it's just getting in the way. Like when you're picking it up, you know, it takes more effort to like pose him up and stuff like that. So I think it really comes down to like what articulation you think like you're gonna need. Another rule of thumb is, like, for example, for knees, I always use bone pieces that have this ending for knees instead of doing like something like this for the knees, just because like the way I see it, I'm never gonna need a knee that goes like that bends like that, right? That's unnatural. With knees, I'm only ever really gonna need to go like that, and then the little side to side. So I've never really built a mock with knees like this where I felt like they were really needed. So yeah, again, it really just comes down to like what articulation do you think you're actually going to use on the mock, and like you think will really be the most useful. It's the same thing with friction adders. I typically find like I only really use friction adders if like the mock is like the joints are genuinely loose in the area where the friction adders are. Like for lightweight mocks, I almost never use friction adders, just because I find that if anything, it makes them more annoying to have to pose with, because they're so lightweight, you don't really need them, and you go to like move the leg and it can like pop it off of the friction adder. So yeah, ultimately though, yeah, like I keep saying, it just comes down to like what articulation do you think you're actually going to use on the figure or not. Third question is, what do you consider good Bionicle content? I consider anything made by someone who genuinely really had a passion for it and really wanted to make it and had a lot of fun making it as good content. You know what I'm saying? Or, I mean, it's not always that case. Like, if someone could not really have fun working on a Biotube video, put it out, but have it still be a good video. But ultimately, I'm just kind of like, if it was a video that you wanted to make, that you had a lot of passion about making, and you had a lot of fun making, and you really, really just wanted to make it, and you have a lot of personal attachment to it, then it's definitely content like being worth being made. Like I said though, obviously there's other like reasons people do Bionicle content, and I don't want to be like, oh, this content's good, this content's bad. But I would say generally the best content comes from people who are genuinely super passionate and happy about the thing that they're making. From Draco No Studios, this isn't a question, but he says, congratulations, you make some awesome content. Thank you so much, man. Lego Swappers asks, opinion on bread. Bread will be the end times, guys. I swear to God, it's gonna happen. The bread is gonna end us all. It's gonna happen. The bread is gonna kill us. Montana asks, how did you build your self-mox frames? I have a how-to for this current version of him as unlisted. I should probably make it. I wasn't gonna make it public because I knew I was gonna change it soon eventually. But yeah, I'll probably make that video public just for anyone who wants to see it. But yeah, I do have a how-to on this version of Terron unlisted, so yeah, I'll probably make that public eventually. Orian9Juice asks, or Orange Juice asks, what are your thoughts on non-purist techniques, cutting, gluing, painting, 3D printing, etc.? Yeah, this is the question I mentioned earlier. I personally am super into cutting and gluing and all that pieces. It might come down to the fact that I just have a lot of pieces that I'm just willing to do that to, but that is definitely a rule of thumb, I would say, when in terms of doing like custom pieces and stuff. Never do a custom part of like a part that you're like not okay with like parting with. Because yeah, you're never really going to get that part back after you modify it. So I myself am very into cutting, gluing, painting, all of that. Definitely got a lot of that from Thatchmac. He definitely inspired me a lot in that domain. But yeah, I would definitely say as a general rule of thumb, if y'all are going to like get into like customizing your Bionicle pieces, don't do it to any pieces that you aren't willing to part ways with. Like, I usually do it the parts that I just have a surplus of, or I'm like, I know I'm never going to use it for anything else, so I'm going to, cut it or paint it or something to use in this new context. Barnax is like, I'm going to, make him look. There we go. He was, on an angle. It was kind of bothering me. Orange Juice also asks, who is the drippiest Biotuber? I don't know, man. Jake the Potato Lord. He's a pretty sexy man. And that is all the YouTube questions. So, moving on to the Discord/Instagram questions. 7140 Noel on Discord asks, who were the first people you interacted with on YouTube? The very first person I ever interacted with on YouTube was your boy, Great Creator. He commented on one of my videos. We commented back and forth. Then I asked him if he wanted to do a collab for my old crappy review series Tyrannical reviews. And yeah, it's Ballard from there. He's one of my best friends in the community now. And yeah, he was the very, very first person I talked to in the community. He also asks, are you still good friends with Gladiator? Yeah, Gladiator hasn't been on the channel for a little while. But yeah, no, we are still good friends. We hang out a lot. And yeah, he's generally just not as into Bionicle anymore. He's more into Lego Star Wars. So yeah, I don't really bring him in for videos that much anymore. But yeah, he is. We still talk a lot. He's still a really great guy. No, we're still friends. Any suggestions for a Bionicle series / film? Make something that you just dropped my phone. The number one advice I can give is make something that you really want to make and you know you'll have a lot of fun and like passion for making. Like don't like conform to anyone. Don't make something just because you're like, oh, I feel like this is what like so and so would want me to make. Make what you generally deep down want to make, and it will generally lead to something that you're pretty happy with. I'm gonna be straight up, guys. It's getting pretty hot down here. I'm gonna take the jacket off. On Instagram, Nitrous Blue asks, what's the best way to do stop motion, frames per second, app, etc.? So for app, I just use Stop Motion Studio. Most people I know who do stop motion just on their mobile devices use Stop Motion Studio. It is an incredible, like, just free app to do stop motion on, and like the pro version is only like $5 and you get a ton of extra features. So yeah, I would definitely say if you're not using a camera and you're just using your mobile device, use Stop Motion Studio. I can't really speak too much for the camera users or people who use like professional programs, although I think there's a way to hook up like an actual camera to Stop Motion Studio. I might be wrong. I'm not that educated on that because for all my years of doing stop motion, I've just used my phone or my iPad. But yeah, Stop Motion Studio for the app. Then in terms of frames per second, like the general rule of thumb is you want to like shorter movements, higher frame rate. I always like just with the length of movements I make, it's kind of hard to be like do this like size of movements, you know what I'm saying? Because obviously that's very like user dependent. It's like person dependent on like the size of your movements. But like for me, based off the size of movements that I usually do, I typically always make sure I'm between 18 and 24 frames per second. And I would just say generally, given like how much movement most people do with their Bionicle characters, yeah, I would say probably like 12 to 24 frames per second, just somewhere in that range. Very broad range, but yeah, a lot of it is user dependent. But yeah, just again, general rule of thumb, smaller movements, higher frame rate. I also typically find you want to make your frame rate as high as you can, like within reason, like within the, like to the point that it looks good. So yeah, I guess it kind of scattershot answer, but yeah, like I said, a lot of it is kind of user dependent on that. Sir Mox asks, is Terron's mouth canon? Asking for the iceberg. We were on call the day I did the Q&A announcement, and he was like, this Terron, or we were talking about if Terron has a mouth or not, and he was like, that sounds like something that would be on a Biotube iceberg near the bottom. I'm like, Terron's mouth. But yeah, I'm gonna say yes, Terron does in universe have a mouth because he's able to eat things, even though his like, it is technically a mask that's bonded to his face. I just imagine it like the Bionicle movie characters in turn and like how their faces work. It's pretty much how Terron's face works. Crazer Creations asks, what do you think of Bionicle politics? I can't say I knew Bionicle politics were a thing, so I can't really give an answer on that. Rondex Studios asks, spaghetti or meat? I am a meat man. Ivax the Awesome asks, favorite picture from the Mies folder? Essentially, what's my favorite photo I have of him? Definitely this one where he looks like a freaking Mandela catalog demon. Ivax the Awesome also asks, favorite picture from the Terron folder? Essentially, Jamie Dodger has a folder in his Photos app that has like 150 plus photos of me that are like screenshots from calls and stuff. I condone it. Don't worry. It's not a weird thing. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna message him and ask him what his favorite is. TJ Films Official asks, what's the best and worst thing about Biotube? I can't really say what the worst thing is, honestly. Like, anything I'm not that into about Biotube, it's really easy to look past because ultimately the pros of Biotube, like, overweigh the cons. But in terms of my favorite thing, definitely the fact that we get to see how so many different people express themselves in their own unique way through the medium of filming of Bionicles. Neil Raymond Grossmanner, long name, great guy though, he asks, this might be dumb, but what was your first Hero Factory / Bionicle set? That is not dumb. Don't say that that's dumb. First Construction Chi Kragger, first Hero Factory Evo XL machine, first Hero Factory figure Brain Attack Surge, first Bionicle in general, Lewa Master, first U1 set, Levoc, all in that order. Firelord34 asks, what's your favorite part about Bionicle as a whole? Definitely the community that spread from it. I freaking love the Bionicle community, as I've made it pretty abundantly clear prior in this video. But yeah, love the Bionicle community. Easily my favorite thing to come out of Bionicle. And also, I guess, Construction for a building format for LEGO, but that didn't necessarily come from Bionicle. Oh, Sir Mox just uploaded a video. I very much like the snow shots, SirSound. They look very nice. That was very lovely. I really like the shots. Very peaceful. Good work, SirSound. Everyone go check it out and check out his channel. We are reaching the end here, folks. Star Art Studios, again on Instagram, asks, since the original series idea was focused on the region's resistance, he's talking about the Terron series. I never really publicly said this, but yeah, the original idea for the Terron series was that it would be focusing on the region's resistance, my old group channel. But yeah, a lot of the people involved in that are no longer active in the community, and I just generally wanted to focus on my own characters. So yeah, the idea of it being a region's resistance series kind of faded away, unfortunately. Will Terron series have any character-focused episodes, example, a sweeps episode or a winter episode? Absolutely. I'm planning on doing specific episodes dedicated to, like, winter sweeps, Josiah Camo, the whole 10 yards, 9 yards, whatever the saying is. Yeah. You get it. There will be character-focused episodes. He also asks, when are you planning / estimating a release date / time frame? Like I said in the update video, there will be more updates on that since I kind of just figured all that out. I have a little bit since then, and if I could get the first episode out by the end of March, then I'd be pretty happy with that, but no promises. We'll see. We'll see how it all turns out, or like kind of pans out, but yeah. I want to try to have the first episode of the Terron series out by the end of March. And our final question from ya boy, Grey Creator. He asks, do you fear God? Personally, I embrace Dak rather than fear him. And that is it. Thank you. Thank you, everyone who asked questions. Very, very, very much appreciate everyone who did. I got way more questions than I was expecting, which was really good to see. Thank you, everyone who asked. Like I said, in the upcoming weeks / months and all that, the main thing you can expect from me are updates on Tyrannical Chronicles, but I have a few side videos planned, you know, like I always do. I always do a few just random posts here and there. And yeah, thank you all again immensely for 400 subscribers, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.